back to do this is going to make the head go down, which in some ways is a relaxation response.
Sure.
You know, so when horses are, you know, challenging each other, and then maybe one will drop its head and go, you know, I'm really a grazing animal. I'm safe. I don't want to fight anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So all of these things are part of that equation. But let's just see what he does, and then we'll, you know, right.
Yeah.
But once again, with a horse that has anxiety, you have to be really there.
Okay.
Because they are more, upset is not the word I want, thrown off balance here by, I don't quite know where she is.
Sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
So if this starts to happen, you know,
Yeah.
you know, because they don't know where you are. So
Yeah.
I get on the horses that are like, and I'm literally saying to myself, stay in the middle, stay in the middle, stay in the middle, stay in the middle. And after about 4 or 5 minutes, they go, oh, I know where she is, I can relax.
Yeah.
And the owners tend to be a little this way. You know, this one particular horse, thoroughbred from Maine, you know, when I just, you know, it worked out really well. Actually, no, that horse was a cross, wasn't he? Oh, man, okay, never mind. Too many horses, not enough time to remember them all. That's all right. So walk on and let's see what you have. And the same thing applies to this guy as your guy, even though I know he's like exponentially narrower. You know, you have to sit on the back of your seat bones, push through long thighs, soft hip flexors, reach back with your lower leg. So now your leg is on the rib cage, and you can shape him on the curve through your legs without it being a big argument. You feel it? So the second your lower leg kicks forward, your butt's going to go a little bit back. So again, be in the middle, be in the middle, be in the middle, be in the middle. And now turn his head. Yeah, lift that inside rein, lower the outside rein. Yeah, now take him sideways on your seat and on your spine and forward on your seat. Yeah.
Thank you.
So turn his head in the corner, preparing for the corner. Send him sideways in the corner. Heavy right arm. Heavy, 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 heavy.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Third ride
Excellent.
in it.
So now you get a horse that isn't a youngster that you have all your anxiety about. Now you have a horse that you're going to take your maturity and help him not get anxious.
Yeah.
Right? So it's kind of the opposite, isn't it? Because your guy is pretty mellow.
Yeah, it's certainly November.
Yeah, so he doesn't quite turn the head enough, right? So don't be afraid to put a really nice curve in his neck. But keep your seat forward. Keep the tip of your tailbone to the outside shoulder. There. So, you know, over bending a horse for, you know, a half a circle is not going to kill anybody, right? You know, not all of roll cur is bad, just 95% of it, because they hold the horses there. So you release them. It's like a massage. You work it, work it, work it. You stretch it, you let it go, right? Nice. Yep. Turn his head, add your seat. If you don't add your seat, it just gets all kind of stuck behind the withers, huh? Can you feel that? Yeah. Nice. Tip of your tailbone to his right shoulder. Make a big curve in the neck. Yeah, already you get that. Now send him sideways with your arm very heavy on the right. He follows the weight of your arm. You see how sensitive he is? You know, so again, really sensitive horses, like some of Pam's horses, they're so sensitive. You have to just be really accurate with your body. And then they go, oh, I get it. Yeah, nice, huh? Nice, nice. So big old curve in the neck, bigger, bigger. Tailbone keeps it there. So you're working him a little deep, and now you're going to release him out of it and shift him a little sideways and turn and go the other way. So didn't he answer all those questions really nicely?
Yeah.
He did.
Yep.
And again, he wants to be just the slightest bit neck high in front of your knee,
Yeah.
because that's where the base of his neck is. And so if he's just a little bit neck high, he's a little bit back low, then he really can't come over his back. And again, the more the tip of your tailbone goes toward the mane, especially in this direction, the more your lower legs hug him and embrace him. And you're trying to find the wide part of the rib cage, right? Good girl. You feel it?
Yep.
So he's kind of right there.
Yeah.
And most of it you're just doing with the integrity of your torso position, a slight guiding of the rein, and you don't have a lot of weight in those reins. You're just a little bit elevated on the inside, a little lower on the outside, and just the way that changes the bit in his mouth has gotten him to release, right?
It looks really cool.
Yeah. So now, is he a little too banana shaped to the right?
No.
No. Okay, good. That's good. Because, you know, sometimes the rib cage doesn't really bulge out to the left, but sometimes it does. So, but here's the thing. If you send the horse a little sideways on your spine and forward on your seat, outside leg keeps him from continuing to drift.
Yeah, okay.
So thoroughbred-ass horses will go, well, you want me to go sideways? I'll go sideways all the time. I'll start drifting all over the place to please you. And you have to go, no, outside leg. Now you go forward, tip of the tailbone toward the mane, right? So do it again. Shift him on your spine. Then catch him with your outside leg and send him forward with your hip. So that's how you put a horse between your two legs. I mean, don't you love these statements? Put the horse between your two legs. You going to give me any information on that? But again, the lower leg, when the knee is soft, reaches back and shapes the horse the way you want the rib cage to be shaped. And everybody's happier. Yeah, yeah, nice. One more time, sideways and forward, and then let him stretch, because he's been really good. So just do it on your spine. Do it sneaky. Sneaky on your spine, forward on your seat. Let him gently telescope his neck down and take the rein. Keep him soft. Keep him soft. Let him go down. Keep him soft. Let him go down. Keep your seat moving. Keep him soft. Let him go down. You feel it? Now, do you feel like he's less worried than when we started?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So a couple of things really contribute to this. You really made sure that he was open in the pole. So then the whole rest of his spine could work. Then when the whole rest of his spine could work and your legs were further back adjusting the rib cage, now his ribs start to move more. He breathes better. That's what the is all about. And also, you know, more oxygen to the pony brain. I mean, so if the back is a little down, the muscles hold the ribs so the horse really can't breathe. And they tend to get kind of anxious. And again, you know, horses that have done it a long time, you can always make it better.
Yeah.
Always, always. But because there's not a lot of information about how you help horses do the work, right?
Yeah.
So just as an example, since you're walking along and he's having a nice stretch, in German the word machen means to make, right? So we get a lot of translated stuff of make the horse do this, but in German, machen also you would say, ich mache ein Spazieren, I take a walk. So machen doesn't mean I take, it means I go on a walk.
Right.
Machen is like transitive, it's about motion.
Yeah.
So when they translate make the horse do this, they're thinking machen in their head because it's a cognate and they think it's the same word. But we don't have that in English. You know, so, you know, I said this to a young woman who I've known her for years, and she just managed to tell me that she'd spent a year in Germany and rode there. Sarah, when were you going to tell me? And so I told her about the machen thing, and she went, oh yeah, you're right. Because she speaks enough to know the way that they use machen, and they use it with all kinds of other words and other ideas that's not make the horse do this. But that's how it gets translated. So, really cool. What's Cantor all about with this guy?
Same stuff.
Yeah?
It just gets worried and quick and trying to get him to come over his back.
Okay.
That's all. He's got a lovely canter.
Okay, so we're going to prepare for him.
Okay.
there's a concept. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a little snarky. So, Spanish riding school exercise, best one I know, best one I've ever seen for preparing for canter, is counterbend the horse. Like counter shoulder in on the circle. Good. Then you're going to make the horse straight, but you're going to stretch your spine so that the rib cage is changing. You're going to go change to the true bend, change to the true bend, to the right, and then go sideways away. So it's a little dance. This is like my favorite thing to ride. I love this. So counter bend in before he pulls you out of the arena and eats the flowers. There. Put your right arm, keep it heavy. Now stretch up as you change the bend, change his pole, change your reins, tip of your tailbone forward, and now take him sideways on your spine and forward on your seat. So one more time, and then I'll explain to you more about what we're doing, or I'll do it in this next bit. So counter bend and keep him there till he really just lets go. So you can visualize how much he's working through and underneath his body with his right hip and whole upper pelvis assembly. Change the bend, get the pole soft, then take him sideways. So now he sits on the hind leg that you were just manipulating underneath him. So one more time, counter bend, the hind leg comes underneath and tip of your tailbone to the right shoulder. Keep the pole, catch the pole, it's okay. Stretch up, change the bend, so he's very loose on that left hind. Now he's going to get ready to go sideways out of the circle. He's going to sit down on the outside hind. So the canter starts on the outside hind. So let's warm up the whole hip assembly on the counter bend. Then you turn and he sits on it. Works for me. So however you want to try, you know, let's see how it goes. Yeah, so you can see that when you feel it's not quite ready, you do this some more. Eventually, it would be nice if you could do this in sitting trot, but that's a short-term goal, if you will, or a long-term goal. Does that make sense? Yep. Because it's really awesome in the nice. Stay in your left leg. Look around with your collarbones. Raise your inside rein a little bit, lower your outside. Now, as your seat goes forward and you stretch, gently close your inside hand in time and think up, up, up with your shoulder blade, tip of your tailbone toward the mane. Stretch, stretch, up with your inside hand and shoulder blade on him, and release and go forward on your spine. And stretch up, 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 and get him off the pesky right front, onto the outside hind, and then outside leg and outside hip he goes forward. Good. And lighten the inside four, stretch up, and then outside leg and outside hip. And that's probably enough. When the mane is flipping up, ask for trot. Watch the mane flip up, and you kind of stretch in time. That's okay. That's okay. So he needed to wait for you to give him that preparation, right? Right? So that's like most of dressage, is getting the horse to wait while you do the preparation. Now, you hear all the groaning? No big deal. That's a lot of stuff letting go, right? So let him walk a minute and be his own guy, but he's not going to just stick his nose out. You're going to like telescope him down. And this is really nice. You get to ride another horse so we can follow through on the stuff we've worked with your horse. You see, because now you feel you're a good boy. Yes, you are. He's giving me the eye like, who is this? These things are going better. I like this one. You're a good boy. Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel the quality of the stretch? Yeah.